Working together, the team at Broken Arrow Public Schools has been able to make great strides and keep up with this very growing community. Great leaders have great people working with them to accomplish goals. The district is not made up of one person. There are many people on the team at Broken Arrow Public Schools that have made the school district what it is today. At the same time, change in leadership doesn't mean a change in vision, passion, or strive for perfection within the district. It doesn't mean change in the way our community works together. The team at Broken Arrow Public Schools is full of visionary people who are doing great things within the district, and that is not going to change. Janet Dunlop, the interim superintendent, has been on that team for 6 years. Last June, Dr. Dunlop was recognized across the state of Oklahoma for her leadership and contributions to public education administration by being named the Oklahoma Association of School Administrators and Cooperative Council of Oklahoma School Administrators Assistant Superintendent of the Year. Not only has she accomplished much in her 6 years at Broken Arrow Public Schools, she is committed to not only being an active leader in our community, but strengthening the partnership even further. We know that the schools in our community will continue to thrive under her leadership. Join me in welcoming Dr. Janet Dunlop.
Thank you. We'll have to work on the microphone placement because I'm a short lady. So, but first of all, I do want to express how grateful we are for the leadership that Dr. Mendenhall brought to Broken Arrow. I said earlier this morning to a team of administrators that as I looked across the room, all of those people were brought together by his leadership. But having been on that journey for 6 years, I know that we are going to continue to move forward in extremely positive ways with both our city government and our chamber. I'm really looking forward to continuing that momentum, both in student engagement and achievement. As an educator and a parent, I have 2 students who go to Broken Arrow schools. My entire family is here, so I am so vested in the community. I often get teased because my parents volunteer at one of the elementaries, and they're there every single day. But that's just part of the fiber of my family and what I believe is right. Broken Arrow's home, and it's so exciting to come home. The most exciting thing about Broken Arrow for me is that it's such a thriving community. The public schools, of course, are amazing. And it's thanks in part to this partnership that we have with the city and the Chamber of Commerce. We've partnered with them to really put Broken Arrow on the map. I've been at the State Department in the last month, and I can't tell you how many times that my heart swelled in pride because I knew how amazing this community was and that we truly are leaders in the state and in many ways in the nation. So our chamber and our city and the schools have really put Broken Arrow on the map as being a dynamic, very progressive city, and it's truly a great place to raise a family. We have many families that come back, come back after graduating from college or their pursuits to stay here. Looking forward to really continuing and actually strengthening this partnership. There are many ways that we continue to make our city stronger. The continuity of the leadership. I'm a Broken Arrow person. This is my home. But that continuity is what we need. We need to continue in the relentless journey toward our goals. And in talking about that goals, it's very public in our schools that we have a mantra, and our mantra is 100% literacy, engagement, and graduation. And what that means is that we are relentless in making sure every student has access and is literate. Every student is engaged in at least 1 or 2 activities on top of being engaged in the classroom and really fantastic teaching. And finally, that every single kid walks across that graduation stage and goes on to a pursuit in something post-secondary. We believe in this goal and we hold steadfast to it. As the associate superintendent, I also had opportunities to work with a lot of parent and teacher groups. I fully intend to continue this. This is how we make sure that what we're doing is not only good for the school district, but good for those stakeholders who are there every single day in the trenches and for those parents. Because really, the school is theirs. This is our community together as parents, teachers, educators, city leaders. It's ours. So we have to make sure all voices are heard. Examples of some of those things that I've done in the past and want to continue is we had literacy committees, we had long-range planning, we have PTA meetings that are amazing, and a council that advises us. We have special education task force to address the needs of our most needy students. And then finally, of course, our strategic planning committee that gives us our goals in the future and really ties in the growth of the city and the changes that are happening that are so positive in the Broken Arrow community. I'm really committed to making sure that parents and teachers have a voice. We cannot function without hearing from them. We'll continue to do that. My plan is to be very, very visible. You know, it's easy to say that you want to be accessible to teachers and parents, but unless you're out there in the schools, how are you going to be accessible? So they will see me in the schools, and they'll have the opportunity to talk to me one-on-one, because that's how you get the true picture of what's happening. Also, we are committed, and this is probably the most exciting. Recently, we have committed through the State Department to focus on a graduation plan for every student. And that means every kid in Broken Arrow will have a plan from middle school to high school of what courses they need to take and how they can meet their goals, whatever those are. This will not only create a plan of how they'll get to the end, but it'll also help us engage our city leaders, our chamber, our police and fire, all of those city groups that can be in our schools and really help guide our students. Oftentimes they don't know what opportunities are out there, and what better way to show them than to invite our community into our schools to do that. So I would like to say in sum, I couldn't be more happy to come home. This is home to me, and I have inherited an amazing leadership team. And we will continue to push the district forward, and we'll continue to make amazing things happen in Broken Arrow. And we'll do that through our strong partnerships with our city, our chamber, our police and fire, our parents, our teachers, our parent groups, and most importantly, our students. So thank you very much.
I'd like to now bring up City Manager Michael Spurgeon.
Thank you, Wes. Good morning. Before I get started, I looked around the room here real quick, and I see, our Mayor, Craig Thurman. I see our Vice Mayor, Richard Carter here. I see members of our school board. I see members of Dr. Dunlop's team sitting here, and I see most of the department directors and leaders in the city here today. And I think that's important, and it just really is going to help. Really, my comments are going to just be very similar to what has been expressed by Wes and Dr. Dunlop. And it really is talking about the partnership that exists within this community. And the fact that everyone is a part of that partnership here today demonstrates that. I've been with the city for about a year and a half. And before I even started, the one thing that I learned from my interviewing process is that Broken Arrow is unique, and what separates it from other cities is the fact that it has this partnership between the school district, the city, and the chamber, which essentially represents the private industry of business. And that was impressed upon me about how important that relationship is, maintaining it and growing it for all of us. And right after I started, it became clear to me what that really meant. And what it really means to the city is the fact that there isn't a day, I believe, that goes by that all three of the partners or two of the three of the partners are talking about something that's going on that we're doing to move this community forward. For example, the city works with the school district on a regular basis about the buildings that they're going to be building and the public infrastructure that goes along with it that's going to be needed to serve. We have SRO officers, so I know that our police department is constantly talking to the school district about issues or concerns and how we can be proactive. We have members of the school board, and Dr. Dunlop will be on our Economic Development Commission because it's important for them to know about the decisions that we're making that are going to move this community forward and how they're going to be impacting our school. So the fact that we have this partnership, I think it sets us apart. And it is a great partnership. And I believe that anytime you have a change in leadership in one of the three of those heads of the positions, it's important to have this type of press conference so the community will know that although there is a change, we're still moving forward. I mean, Broken Arrow is positioned for tremendous growth, not only in the school district, but in our city itself with additional residents, new businesses, new opportunities that we need to make sure that we continue to work together. And so I just want to extend my hand to Dr. Dunlop and her team. And I'm looking at Chuck here. I got my knee surgery done this past summer, and he recommended the doctor, and he took care of it. I'm feeling great. I'm not ready to dance yet, but I can tell you it was his recommendation. So, you know, we're friends too, is my point. So we see each other out in the city, and we're trying to come together as a city, not just as officials in a formal capacity. So that's what I want to extend to you, Dr. Dunlop. You have my word. You'll have all the support, and you have a great team. I absolutely agree with that. And these folks also serve in different committees. I saw Michelle last night. She was at the KBAB committee, so they're giving her their own time, and she's also on our recycling committee. So they're just as interested, invested in what we do as people in the city. And then finally, I'm never going to miss an opportunity to talk about something that's important, and that is we need to get our teachers a pay raise. And I believe very strongly in that, not only because my children are teachers, my brother's a teacher, and I got a brother that's superintendent, is the fact that with the failure of 779, we now have to step forward and make sure that our legislature makes getting our teachers a pay raise, which is a workforce, no different than providing manufacturing, industrial, and technology. They're educating our kids. And Representative Rogers has assured us that he's committed to help doing that, and that the cities in the metropolitan area are working together to make sure we make that important for all the cities and chambers in our state. Because if we can't take care of this, Mayor Thurman said it best, is we don't want to be 40th any longer. We want to ascend to the top, and you do that by taking care of those superstars in the classroom, and then making sure those that are coming out of school here have the ability to stay here. So we're going to continue to focus on that and work with the doctor and our team and every day. And I want to thank everybody for coming, and early Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Michael. That about wraps it up. But just one thing in closing here, and our mantra is we make great happen, and we do that through people. And everybody in this room plays a role in that. We do that through growing jobs, growing our economy. The school district plays a huge part in that, a huge part in making sure we have a trained, available workforce, a huge part of keeping home values high. You know, we don't want to be 40. We don't think of ourselves as 40 in Broken Arrow. We think of ourselves as number one. And we're going to continue to do that through a lot of working together. And again, welcome to you. And it's going to be a great day. So with that, thank you for coming out, and we're done.